I do have the CEO of Good African Coffee and entrepreneur, Mr. Andrew Rugasira. Good evening.
Good evening, Flavia.
How is the campaign trail?
Well, it's only just begun.
Yeah.
I'm fascinated at how so many young people have got engaged in this, tweeting and going on Facebook. It's really good to see young people engaged in this, and so we've started a conversation, and it's going. That
was your target, actually, because this morning I heard you say that the young people need a voice. They're ready to be heard. Is that what was behind your interest in this presidency, or was it just businessman and trying to get the business there?
I mean, if you think about it, 78% of this population of Uganda is youth. Huh?
Yeah.
So if we're looking at people who are going to create wealth, that's the demographic that's going to do it. So we really need to listen to them. Yeah. They need a platform, they need a voice, and they also need to be engaged. And we just need to step back and say, let's build a platform for you. Come on top, build the products you want to build. Those who want to do coding, those who want to go into agriculture, those who want to start service businesses. I think we just need to encourage them to do that, and the chamber can do that for them.
Okay, so a couple of questions just to clarify on this. The first, the current president, Mrs Olive Kigongo, has said that you did not follow procedure. Yeah, that this is what we follow, or what you would follow if you want to be a leader or the president of the chamber, and she's actually termed it as politicking. Your expressing of interest. What do you have to say about that?
That's actually sad that it's being captured in that way. I'm a member of the chamber.
Yes.
So I would have thought that the chamber would welcome a member who's creating a conversation and a discussion. I have a high respect for Madam Kigongo, and in fact last year I think I met her on 4 occasions to discuss some of these issues, and subsequently even wrote to the board and aired my views as a member. And I think we need to be able to say things in public what we're able to say in private as well. And so what I see is not a fight or a conflict or even necessarily a contest. I don't even know if she's going to be able to stand or not, but I see a conversation with greater accountability to a wider community. I have high respect for her, and I think let the best argument win. We might differ on the vision for the chamber and its future, but I don't think there's anything personal there. It's all about the issues.
Should you have gone to the board first and the secretariat and said, this is my interest, before you came to the people? Is that why maybe there's a bit of a difference here?
According to the Constitution, Flavia, you're meant to submit your nominations 10 days before the annual general meeting. The annual general meeting hasn't even been announced.
It's not 10 days.
It's not even 10 days. So all I did was to announce an intention to create this kind of conversation, because I think it's important that when leaders are going into office, they've had an opportunity to engage with the publics, they've had an opportunity to hear ideas. This is not just about Andrew, but it's about Andrew and a potential team and a whole community of people. So that was the intention. It wasn't to disrespect her or dishonor in any way. And if you see the amount and volume of communication on the social media, I would have thought the chamber would say, wow, we have a member creating a bit of a buzz. Maybe these are people who want to be members.
Perhaps that didn't happen because, according to them, you only joined, last year?
Yeah.
And when you joined, and probably like any other, got in there and saw a few issues you weren't excited about, you filed a petition. And they thought, here comes just a year in or less and brewing trouble. They might have seen it from that perspective. What do you have to say about that? And also, many were questioning that, okay, you're a good candidate by and far, but shouldn't you have addressed these issues as a member with fellow members before you come out and say, here are the wrongs and we're about to make it right?
Wow. I mean, a business association is not a political party, okay? It's about business, it's about interests, and it's about meeting the members' aspirations, The chamber is very clear. It's supposed to bring entrepreneurs and business people together collectively to agitate for pro-business policies, to be part of the policy-making process, to promote trade and investment. I think this 83-year-old institution is a far cry from its original mandate. That's why you have other organizations breaking away like CASITA, like PSF and Uganda Manufacturers Association. They stepped away because the chamber was not fulfilling its original mandate. So, as a business association, the members' interests must be met. And if they are not, I think it's an opportunity to have a conversation, to galvanize other people. Nobody owns that chamber. I mean, nobody can claim they own that chamber. We're there to serve.
Owned,
Absolutely. And I'm not there because there's income to be made, or it's public service. I think it's a service to the community, which I've been doing almost half my business life.
You said this morning, and to quote you, the chamber is operating at a loss. Talk to us about that.
I think there are 2 problems there. One, I think they're not able to generate sufficient income from their members. We haven't even seen an official public register to know how many members they are. Just to give you an example, the U.S. Chamber of Commerce has 3 million members. They have annual subscriptions in excess of $200 million.
The current president says you have about 5,000.
Where are they?
Okay.
Where are they? The Dubai Chamber of Commerce has 160,000 members. South African Chamber of Commerce, Kenyan Chamber of Commerce. With a population of 37 million, we have 8,000 members supposedly in a chamber that's 83 years old.
Why is the private sector not registering to be members of this? Are they not aware it exists? Are they not happy with the way it exists? What's the question of why it is that disparity in the numbers of who the private sector is large, and why you have, according to you, they're less than 500. According to her, they're 5,000. So we'll leave those numbers.
But rather, I could ask you, why aren't you a member? And the answer we get is that I don't see the value in being a member of the chamber. I don't see why I should pay 100,000 or 250 or 500,000. I think we need to be relevant. We need to come and offer the private sector a platform to address the issues, promote local investment, create incubation centers, promote local private sector development, engage with government and support government programs. Government is not going to solve these issues. The private sector has to step up and play its patriotic role.
Okay, so this is what would be your first look at a manifesto of sort. And I want you to just talk to us about, we know, Andrew, some might have heard the name, some might obviously be customers of Good African Coffee, but what makes you a good candidate? Because there's so many promising entrepreneurs out there who could say, listen, I could make some changes. But why is Andrew Rugasira the right person to be the president, the next president of the Ugandan National Chamber of Commerce?
I think I would say there are four things. One, I think I've built an organization from the bottom up, from nothing. I have that experience. So I can relate to small and medium enterprises in their struggles and in their hopes to build businesses for themselves. Two, I'm able to operate at the local economic environment, but also I'm also able to operate at a global environment, having taken Good African Coffee to the global market. Three, I think I understand some of the frustrations with some of the policies that might not best suit the private sector and how we can engage. And I also have a social capital base that we can engage and get a conversation going and get people to appreciate some of the business policies that need to be put in place. I've written about these things. I'm a person who has a servant spirit and a servant heart, and I really think there's a lot of potential in our midst that we could harness to better our economy and bring prosperity to this nation.
I wish her the best tomorrow.
Thank you.
Current president will be here, and hopefully she can address
I wish her the best.
thoughts.
I wish her the best too.
The CEO of Good African Coffee, Mr. Andrew Rugasira.